everyone, and welcome to the Yoshi Cast. I'm Yoshi. Today is Tuesday, November 20th, 2018, and this is episode 24 of Bag and Board. Yoshi! Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And man, it's been a long time since I've done one of these. It's been like, what, 3 or 4 weeks? And because it's been so long, I have a ton of books to share with you, and I'm really excited to do it. But I have so many that all but one I have bagged and board, so I can just get through and show you what I got and do a quick, what I thought about them, if I read them, that kind of thing. I was also in Chicago attending TFCon, the world's largest fan-run Transformers convention. But while I was in Chicago, me and some friends, we took the train down to the heart of Chicago and checked out Grahm Cracker Comics, where I was able to pick up a few books for completing my Punisher run. I'm going to show those off. But let's just get right into it this week. The book I'm going to bag and board for you is Bone Parish, issue number 4. And I read a bunch of good books this week, and I'm excited to talk about them. It was kind of just a toss-up between what I was going to talk about and bag for you, but I'm really, really enjoying this series. It's been a whole heck of a lot of fun. I hope you're reading it too, because everybody I've recommended it to, my neighbor, friends online and stuff, nobody has said a bad thing about it. We're all really enjoying it. The story continues to get more interesting, getting deeper and deeper into the characters. We left off in the last issue, and here we've got the Mexican cartel. It starts off there because it ended with them kind of in the last issue, having killed several members of Bone Parish or the local the family that makes this high-end designer drug that lets you live through or live with the life of the person who died that the drug was made from. Really a super good story. You could see them using this drug to great benefit in infiltrating and dispatching this Mexican drug lord that was trying to take them over. And it ends with a really good warning, or a really scary warning, like, he's not the only one coming for this. You guys need to really, get your shit together, more or less, because you're at amateur hour and you need to step it up. Super good story, super good story. I'm super excited for this. I can't wait for the next issue. Again, highly recommend it. If you're not reading it, you should read it. They did have 2 covers for this book. They had this cover, and they had the alternate cover. I've been picking up the covers I like, not sticking to A, B, or getting both. I'm getting the ones I like, and yeah, it's a great book. This is Bone Parish, issue number 4 from Boom Studios. Pumping out a great book here, guys. Check it out. I'm really digging it. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, the reason there hasn't been any bag and board episodes out in the last 3 or 4 weeks is because I was in Chicago attending TFCon, a Transformers convention. And while I was there, one of the things I picked up at the convention, well, 3 things I picked up at the convention, were blank sketch covers. I had sketches done on blank comic book covers. The first one I'm going to show you is on a Transformers Regeneration 1 issue 100 blank. This is known as the Herb Trimp variant. There were 100 of these made by IDW Publishing, and they were sent to Mr. Trimp to be drawn on, and those sketches to be sent to the 100 comic book stores that sold or purchased the most Transformers Regeneration 1 100 books for their send-off of this series. And after he passed away, his books ended up on eBay, and I picked a handful of them up. This is one of them. I had the artist Casey Collar draw on it, and this is an homage to Fantastic Four issue 49, I believe. I'll put the comparison on the screen. But this is an absolutely beautiful cover, homaging G1 and homaging that Fantastic Four cover, and I am so thrilled with this. It couldn't have turned out better. Mr. Collar always exceeds my expectations. I have an interview with him and his thoughts on working on this cover that I'll be posting in a few weeks on my channel, so stay tuned and check that out. The next sketch cover I have to show you is on a Transformers Regeneration 1 issue 96 blank variant cover. This is done by the artist Alex Milne, a super talented Transformers artist with IDW. And this is his take, at my request, of a Tesla Semi as an Autobot G1 Transformer named Packer. And I think it just turned out amazing. I can't say enough good things about this. I have several Tesla vehicles that have been modified into Transformers. I'm slowly building my Tesla Autobot army. I think it's super cool. This is just one of the things I like to do and collect at conventions, and I'm happy to add this one to my collection. And a big thank you out there to Alex Milne for doing this. This is amazing. Thank you. The last sketch cover I have to show you is Grimm Tales of Terror, issue number 1, volume 4. This was the blank variant, and this is Sam from Trick or Treat. And I had the artist Matt Moylan work on this. Now, Matt has done a lot of Transformers work in his past, and I got the chance to interview him as well about this cover. So that'll be coming up in a few weeks. Stay tuned. But I'm super stoked with how this came out. This just, the awesome pumpkins on the bottom, the way the art bleeds into the logo. He just did a fantastic job, and I'll get that video edited as quickly as I can and tossed up so you can check it out. But yeah, this is Matt Moylan, and he did a terrific job on this. Also, while I was in Chicago, me and some friends, we took off on a train to go into the heart of Chicago to check out Grahm Cracker Comics. There, I was able to pick up 2 books to help complete my Punisher run that I'm trying to do. I still have a bunch of books to collect, but I got some early issues, which is great because these earlier issues, they're harder to find. I'm stoked to get them. The first one I have to show for you is The Amazing Spider-Man 135. This was labeled in the store as the second appearance of the Punisher. This is where comic collectors get a little nitpicky. Yes, this is the second appearance. The issue before this, which I have, he makes a cameo, or what they call a cameo, so they don't technically call it his second appearance. I'm calling this his third appearance. I don't care what collectors say. He's in the previous book, that's his second appearance. I don't care if it's a cameo or one panel or what. The technicalities, I guess it's good to know that, but to me, this is the third appearance. Super glad to have this. I think I paid $35 from this from Grahm Crackers, and it's in pretty, it's seen better days, but again, I want a reading copy. I want to read it, so I'm super happy to have it. The second book I picked up at Grahm Crackers is Daredevil, The Man Without Fear, issue 138. Now, Punisher made his debut in the Netflix Marvel Universe in Daredevil Season 2. I'm guessing that when I read this and a couple of the other Daredevil books I have, I'm going to see some parallels to what happened in that season and in the comics. I know a lot of people online were talking about how they hope they did this in the comic and this, and soon I'll be able to read it and know for sure. So this is Daredevil 183 from Grahm Cracker Comics in Chicago. I guess I did get 3 books from Grahm Cracker. I forgot about this one. You guys may know, what is it now? It's probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. I did get a Rainbow Bright blank variant cover. This is, this I don't believe is cover A, this is probably cover B. This is homaging the original 80s art, and that's why I picked it up, because nostalgia sells and I can't walk past nostalgia. So yeah, that's Rainbow Bright issue 1 from Dynamite Comics. Back home, Mystery Science Theater 3000 issue number 2 came out. This is cover A. This is cover B. I'm not big on picking up multiple covers of stuff unless I'm really super into it. And honestly, I couldn't decide on which was the better cover. So that's why I picked up both of them. I did read this book, and it is continuing the whole making fun of a comic while also the characters get transported into the comic. This has been a fun read. I've really enjoyed it. If you're a Mystery Science Theater fan, I don't think you're going to be bummed out by these books. I think you're really going to enjoy them. I didn't laugh as much in the second book as I did in the first book, but I'm still really digging it. And you should check it out, especially if you're an MST3K fan. There were some Halloween books that came out while I was on hiatus there. And I'm going to try and lump the Halloween books together so you can see them. The first one is Avengers Halloween Special, issue 1. It's only going to be in issue 1. This is a beautiful book. I super dig the jack-o'-lanterns. Honestly, this book in person, those jack-o'-lanterns look like they glow. The colorist did a fantastic job on this. And I know I had on a previous show, DC did a similar thing. The Cosmic Tales of Terror? I can't remember exactly. This is Marvel's counterpart to that. The DC one had DC characters and short stories about them. Marvel did the same thing. This book was infinitely better than the DC book. Not amazing. I enjoyed it. I was able to read it cover to cover. Great stories in it, but not like crazy good Bone Parish crazy good. It was still enjoyable, much more enjoyable than the DC counterpart. So if you can still find this book, you should grab it because it's not half bad. And this cover art is absolutely amazing. Another Halloween purchase. This was solely a purchase made on the cover art. This is Betty Page Halloween Special. Issue doesn't say anywhere. And it's beautiful. You know, anything with a jack-o'-lantern on it, with a half-decent drawn face, I'm a sucker for. I have to get it. This was strictly an art purchase. Super, super awesome book. Red Sonja. Again, this Halloween purchase. Got the giant pumpkin. I apologize for the glare, guys, but a great, great looking book. Another purchase I picked because it was a Halloween, because it had jack-o'-lanterns, and strictly on the cover art, Vampirilla. You know what, let me use my secondary camera, see how that looks, see if that looks a little bit better. This is Vampirilla, the Halloween special, Dynamite Comics, beautiful cover. That's why I picked this guy up. Next, I have, just recently, just last Saturday was Comic Book Shop Day. And there were a few variant covers that were exclusive to that day. And my comic book shop got a few of them. I picked up 2. The first one is Uncanny X-Men #1. This is just a great cover. I don't know why I'm fighting with the glare there. This is just a beautiful cover with Wolverine and Sentinel. It's just great in person. So I had to pick this up. The other one was Tom Scioli GoBots. This is an IDW reboot. I bought this because the cover screamed nostalgia. You know me, nostalgia, I'm gonna buy it. I did watch GoBots as a kid. I wasn't as big of a fan of them as Transformers, but I did enjoy them. I don't know why. You know, Tom Scioli is one of those guys, you either love him or hate him. The last project I'm aware of that he worked on was Transformers versus G.I. Joe. And man, he does everything. He does the writing, he does the art, and he does the lettering. Super, super talented guy. I'm not taking that away from him. But that book couldn't sell enough copies to stay afloat, and so they had to bring it down. Here is a new property IDW is promoting. They put him on this book, and it's like they want him to fail. It's like they want the book to fail. I mean, if you really want something to go, why would you go with him? I tried reading this. I didn't even get halfway through it before I had to put it away. I couldn't deal with the art, and honestly, I couldn't deal with this particular storyline either. Hopefully I'm just jumping to conclusions. It's a lot better, but his art leaves a bad taste in my mouth. This was a cover purchase. It's beautiful, and hopefully this is not the only GoBots series that IDW is going to put out, and we'll just have to wait and see. Dead Rabbit issue 2, a book I was super looking forward to. This book is just as good as the first one. Dead Rabbit ranks right up there with Bone Parish. As far as books I look forward to, you know, it's Bone Parish, it's Dead Rabbit, it's Cosmic Ghost Rider, it's Sleepwalker. This book is not disappointing. Here we see the main character, 20 years older, donning the Dead Rabbit gear and trying to steal some money to help his wife who's in the hospital, and the medical bills are mounting up. Really digging the story, super digging it. You guys should check it out. Speaking of Sleepwalker, we've got Sleepwalker issue #2. This helped me understand issue #1 a little bit better. That's not true. People explaining to me what is going on in the Marvel Universe, this Infinity War saga, this Infinity War thing that's happening, people at the comic book store and friends explaining this to me made issue 1 make more sense and made issue 2 very enjoyable to read. The Sleepwalker is basically passing through the Infinity Stones to try and stop whatever's going on. I hope he isn't doing just something in the background that isn't going to matter at the end. You know, issue 1 was super exciting because he was right there at Gamora ready to stop her, and they yanked him out. So we'll see. I get the whole little Hulk that's going on here. I get that now with the combining of people and powers. It makes sense. It was an enjoyable read, super enjoyable. Hopefully it continues. I'm looking forward for issue 3. Looking forward to issue 3. These were cover purchases. These next 2 were cover purchases. This is Superman and Tomcat. Hanna-Barbera's Tomcat. Top Cat. I'm sorry, it's Top Cat. Hanna-Barbera's Top Cat and Superman. This was just a cover art purchase. I really dug it. I tried to read it, couldn't get through it. That doesn't mean anything. I'm just not the biggest Top Cat fan. Again, we got a Green Lantern and Huckleberry Hound. Got it for the art, guys. The art. I'm big into the art. Haven't even tried to read it. Haven't had time with the books I wanted to read and talk about, and ones I just didn't get a chance to get to this one. But this was strictly a cover purchase, not that I was interested in the story. We have Life is Strange, issue 1, based on the video game. I really had hoped. I'd put my order in for this a long time ago, and I really had hoped that I would have downloaded and played through the game. I've heard nothing but good things about the game, but because I haven't done that, I'm probably not going to continue with this series. But I'm excited for it. Like I need to get through the game. Unfortunately, Red Dead 2 is out, and if I do have a second to myself, that's where it goes. The Lone Ranger issue 2 with Tonto on the cover. This was the cover I went for. I think this is cover A from Dynamite Comics. I'm firing this book. I am going to ask them to remove that from my pull list. It just kind of is cheesy in this issue to me, especially Tonto. Tonto is like super cheesy in it, and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna fire it. The Cosmic Ghost Rider issue 5, the variant cover, the very, very pretty variant cover. Yeah, this is the end of the Cosmic Ghost Rider series, and I like the ending. Very enjoyable ending. Wasn't funny. Did not find any humor in this book. That's okay. But the end of it gave me hope. The end of it says Cosmic Ghost Rider is continuing in the new Guardians of the Galaxy issue 1. So I have added that to my pull list, and we'll see what that's like. The same writer is going to be working on that, Donny Cates, I believe, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this character and the humor of Donny Cates' writing. Okay, and we're going to close out this video with blank variant covers. These are covers that I have either picked up online or my comic book store held for me because they're nice people. The first one is Green Lantern blank variant. I have been wanting a Green Lantern blank variant for the longest time. I am super stoked to have one. And let's see what ends up getting put on it. Life is Strange. I specifically asked for this. I asked for them to hold this. I have no idea what I'm going to put on it, if I'm going to put anything on it. You never know where life takes you. Maybe I'll end up at a gaming convention and people who worked on the game will be there and I'll just get their signatures on it. You never know. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider. My comic book store held this for me. It was in good condition, so I bought it. Personally, I would have preferred it to just say Spider-Gwen and that was it. I know Ghost Spider is probably the storyline that's going on. But yeah, Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, this is issue 1, the blank variant. Firefly, issue 1, the blank variant. I am not super stoked to read this because I don't know a lot about it. They're definitely promoting the whole created by Joss Whedon, but they're not, nothing about this screams that he had anything to do with the story whatsoever. So that's why I'm reluctant to read it. I think this is probably the first Firefly book to come out, or Serenity book to come out, that doesn't have him somewhat involved in it. So that's why I'm not too much in a hurry to even care to read it. I wanted the blank variant, though. I could see this becoming very useful. And finally, my comic book store held for me without my asking, because they're nice people, Wonder Woman, the blank variant. This is issue 58. I could go for a slightly more classic logo than this, but it is simple, it is minimalist, and you can see, like, look at how Marvel and look at Boom Studios, and even, I'm not even sure what company did Life is Strange. They got either the creators all at the top above the logo, or they just didn't include the creator's name in it. Here on Wonder Woman, like a lot of DC books, right here at the bottom, taking up valuable real estate, are the creators who worked on the book, making it that much harder for artists to really commit to a piece, if you will, on one of these. But guys, that's a ton of books, man, since the last time we talked. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Couple of things, I guess. If you want to see the video I created for TFCon, I did this for the Transmissions podcast. If you want to know what a what a Transformers convention is like, just hit the link down below. I'll try and put a card up here too, but that'll take you, and you can watch what a Transformers convention is like. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me, and take care. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.